So, we're going to talk about a game that you played that I haven't, and that is the new Life is Strange.
That is true. I have played the new Life is Strange. I played a little bit, so I'm going to not give too many spoilers. I think anything that I say has already been shown in the trailer.
Okay,
I think.
you think?
So if you want to go in
Right.
completely fresh, don't look at this. There will be some video shown on the YouTube version. So there will be a scene from that, but it's not going to kind of spoil it.
Okay.
What I get the impression is that after, because it's in chapters again,
Yes.
I think after chapter 2, that's when shit goes down. You do not want to get spoiled.
Okay.
Because the game comes out in, I think like in early access, or it comes out in there's a pre-order something. You can play the first 2 episodes something like 2 weeks early,
Okay.
and then the rest comes out. And I think I get the impression that the second episode might have a very big cliffhanger, and they want to know, they want people guessing.
I really hope nobody data mines that.
Oh, I hope so. Well, I imagine it won't be
Spoils it.
data mineable because I guess they'll just pump out this first 2. They won't be able
hope
they won't
so.
include all of them. So yeah, I play. If anybody doesn't know, it involves Max, who is the protagonist from the original game, who was all right, a bit whiny. I mean, I preferred her to her friend Chloe, which people who people loved. And this is going to be okay. We will talk a bit of a spoiler for a big spoiler, very big spoiler for the end of Life is Strange 1. So. To be honest, if you want to kind of see what it looks like, just mute this video and watch the video because we will be talking about spoilers for that. But at the end of Life is Strange 1, you can make a decision whether to save Chloe, who is either a very good friend or your girlfriend, or the entire town. And me finding Chloe quite annoying, saved the town, and Chloe went and died because she dies at the beginning of the game, and you do some time travel and you have to go back and kind of alter history.
Well, yeah. So Max as a character can manipulate time, right?
Exactly. You can manipulate time. You go do something and you can go back. I can't quite remember. It's been a long time because I played it when it first came out. But yes, there's at the very beginning, I think your a friend Chloe or somebody that you know, she gets killed, but you go back in time and you stop that from happening. And then as it progresses or whatever, things get worse and worse. And then you realize that you had to kind of let her die at the beginning, or the whole town was going to be destroyed.
So I haven't played it, but 100% I would save my lover, not the town. Screw everyone else.
Well, no, she annoyed me. So, also, it's great for representation, as you know, it's Life is Strange, because you're Max, a girl,
Yep.
and she's a girl as well. So, with blue hair. Just iconic.
Yep.
And then, and there's also been a murder as well in the original that you have to kind of solve. It's really cool. I loved it. There were some twists and turns. There's a twist at the very end of the first episode, which was just incredible, and I was like, what is this? And there's also another one very close to the end. So I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to this a lot. But
I'll just say quickly, like I have played True Colors, which I really enjoyed.
yes,
And what I like is that, or what I personally liked is that every Life is Strange seemed to be its own story and its
totally.
own characters and different. Whereas this, from what you've said, because it's the same protagonist as the first game, is sort of essentially a sequel.
Yes, and to be honest, there's a prequel as well, Before the Storm, because in Life is Strange 1, I think it's your best friend, generally, it's been so long ago since I played it, I think it's your best friend is murdered, or is missing, and then you find out that she's murdered. But in the prequel, you're spending time with her.
Right.
However, it's weird because it was made by the same devs, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the same devs that made True Colors, and also Life is Strange, and Before the Storm. But Before the Storm came out.
Shit,
It's gone
I can't let
weirdly.
him see me
It's
here.
gone.
The sun's gone behind the clouds.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like the lights going weird. And
Can just distract him for
I
a few
don't know.
minutes
Before the Storm,
before we
I
get you
found
back.
quite boring, very, very cheesy,
Good thing
and the
that he let an
graphics were like
alderman from here. Wouldn't want
way
to show up
worse.
right in
It was like a
front of
big
him.
step backwards, which I just found weird. But people love Before the Storm.
There are 2 different studios that have made Life is Strange games.
Yeah.
And I can't remember which way round it all is, but there are some of them made by one and some by another. So True Colors is made by a different one to
2.
two, I think.
Yeah, no, I think 2 was the
Um,
different one.
Because now you've got one of those teams is now making this,
Yeah.
and then the other team is now making a completely different game that that's a different publisher, completely separate, but
Mhm.
quite similar gameplay-wise in that it's clearly very Life is Strange-y, narrative, adventure, choice, etc., but is its
Yeah.
own thing. So they've now split off in different directions.
Let's just double check because I think I know which ones are which, but I want to just double check. So yeah, you've got Life is Strange. Yeah, Deck 9.
That's one, yeah.
So Deck 9, they made. I'm gonna. As in it, Life is Strange Before the Storm, Life is Strange True Colors. They also did the remastered collection. So yeah, they didn't actually make the original Life is Strange, which is interesting.
So that's why the prequel is
A different
different.
style.
Yeah.
But it's weird because Life is Strange True Colors I thought was really good. But Before the Storm I thought was quite poor.
Yeah.
Like I didn't enjoy I thought the writing, well, I don't want to be rude, but I just thought it was quite cheesy and basic. And I think it might have been quite rushed, I don't know. So I didn't particularly like that. But then True Colors I loved. So I've got a lot of hope for this one. But yeah, Before the Storm involves the same characters as well. But then this is like a proper sequel.
Double Exposure.
Double Exposure, it's called.
What does that refer to?
And I was weird because I thought it had another name, but I don't know if that is a different. What was there? Oh, there was another name, but I can't remember what the other name was.
Moses Murphy.
Really?
Rule breaker.
I have no idea what you're talking
Well,
about.
I don't know. Maybe there's a different. Oh yeah. Sorry, their new game. That's what I'm thinking of. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage.
Yes, so that's
Been
other,
delayed.
That is the other game that I was just mentioning.
Yeah.
That is like Life is Strange, but not, and it's completely
For
separate.
some reason, I thought it was Life is Strange, Bloom and Rage, but that's a different one.
Yes,
No, that's been
different
delayed
game.
into 2025, so it doesn't coincide with this.
There we go.
And yeah, it's Max still, but it's later. But at the beginning of it, you get to choose. This is what I've been told. I didn't play this bit, and it's not on the video. But apparently, it's similar to The Witcher 3, where somebody talks to you about your past, and then you can tell them whether Chloe was your girlfriend or a very good friend, and whether she died or whether the town was destroyed. So you can kind of import your decisions there, and apparently that changes some aspects of the game.
Okay, because I think people were worried about how this sequel will continue based on the decisions you made in the first game. So that, I guess, is how they're addressing that, is that you can make that choice at the start.
But it's quite interesting because I'm like, well, okay. Does that mean that Max... Well, does that mean that Max and Chloe are not together? Because if they are still together, then you can't play a whole game with a character in one version and not the other. Is she away? Does she die no matter what?
I mean, that's
Just some
what I
interesting-
think people are concerned about, is that choice at the end of the first game is so big and so monumental.
How do you make a sequel?
How do you make a sequel that makes that choice significant
Yeah.
without giving you basically two different stories?
Yeah,
in
imagine
one?
if you picked her, and then the start of this, they were like, oh, yeah, but she died anyway later. Oh, you split up and she went off to France.
Well, exactly. And it's like, oh, it didn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
But that would be really dissatisfying.
We will see what happens with that because I'm intrigued. So I will pick
Okay.
my ending because my ending was I saved the town and she was a friend.
Okay.
Because I just didn't like her. I found her really
Wow.
annoying. I know a lot of people love her, and I'm sure that's going to upset people. But yeah, I found.
It's your opinion. It's your choice.
is.
It's your life that is strange.
Thank you. And so going into Double Exposure, the premise of it is that there are two timelines. Kind of similar to the original, actually, because there's one where Chloe died and one where Chloe didn't at the beginning. But this one, you can kind of switch between them. In this one, somebody's died.
Oh.
And there are two timelines that you can go between where this person is dead and where they aren't dead, but the killer is still on the loose. So I believe the story will pretty much center about trying to find the killer by going on the different timelines.
So is that what double exposure means?
I think so.
Oh.
Or are you exposing yourself in one of those to... Or maybe they just... Yeah, flasher. Maybe it's a flasher.
Yeah.
So you go, and in this case, you find these kind of little rifts in time, and your power is that you go into it, and then you open it, and you go through into the other universe.
Yeah.
And if you're watching the video version of this, you'll see me doing a mission that is completely... I'll give the premise of it. You need to... So at the murder scene, one of the best friends of this person that died is a guy, and he, I don't know if it was his girlfriend or very, very close. I think it's his girlfriend. Apologies if it's not, but he takes the camera that she had as like a memento of like keeping it for her. But now the police are making him the #1 suspect. And he's black as well, and he makes a comment of being like, oh, I was the #1 suspect anyway, and now this is going to make it even worse.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he takes that, and then you need to kind of sneak into this office while he won't give the keys to open his laboratory because he works in a lab and in the school, and he wouldn't open the door or a telescope. He wouldn't open the door to let the police look in because the camera's in there. And then you have to kind of go through into the alternate dimension to go in there and collect the camera and then hide. And there are various like kind of rifts where you can swap between current day and past day, and involves kind of sneaking around. And yeah, so you eventually you get the camera away. And yeah, I thought it was really cool. The Max it looks different, but it didn't take me long to be like, oh yeah, it's definitely her.
Okay.
So it's obviously got brand new.
I mean, she's a bit older now, right?
She's a bit older. It's got better graphics. The lighting is a lot kind of. I don't know. Before it just felt a bit kind of bright and
It's quite
pastely faded a bit, like bright.
I mean, it was
the original
PS3 was the original.
I think
It's PS3.
was it PS3,
Yeah.
PS4, PS3, but before the storm looked very early PS3 days. Like it went very, very kind of cartoony, kind of bland faces, like kind of Final Fantasy 14. You know, they're very generic faces that don't really have much detail on them. It was a bit like that. Whereas this one's a lot more. I mean, it's not like God of War style graphics or Spider-Man Miles Morales, something like that. But it's still, but apparently they have actually done quite a lot of work on the faces to make it because obviously that's
that's the core thing.
It's
really
a core thing. It's like it's a story game, but a puzzling story game that's played in episodes. So yeah, it's like a murder mystery that you play in real time or in like a TV drama or whatever, or TV thriller. So yeah, it definitely has a new vibe to it. I played, as you can probably see on here. Actually, you can't. Well, it'll be chopped up a bit because it's not my playthrough that's showing, so you won't see me failing a couple of times. And yeah, I loved it. The only tiny criticism I had, which I gave feedback, so maybe they'll fix that. Who knows? Was that if you don't know something, it kind of in a couple of parts it prompts you very quickly and repeatedly, and I'm like, I know I'm trying to get there, but I'm just got to sneak around. Like there's a bit where you're sneaking around some desks, you need to go up to a balcony area to do something, but there's a person walking around with a torchlight, and I'm terrible at stealth, so I did it very, very slowly and calmly, and all that was going on was like, I need to get up there. And then 10 seconds later, I really need to get up there on the balcony. I need to find a way to climb those stairs. And I'm like, I know, I'm trying to find my way around, but there's a person walking around with a torch. So, like, just that it's very small criticism. But I mean, these games they're created to, like, have some drama and some excitement and get people wondering what's going on. And it's like a bit of a whodunit. Yeah, it is a whodunit. I'm, very much looking forward to playing that. It's going to be so hard to play and not get spoiled in these days when it's a game like this that's just so heavily story focused. I think I will stream it. No, I won't stream it. I'm going to make a YouTube video for it because I don't want to stream in case somebody will come in and be like, this person's a killer.
Oh, that will happen.
Exactly, it's going to happen. So I'm going to, I think it comes out, it's like I think the first 2 episodes come out like mid-October.
Okay.
And then the rest come out at the end, just a couple of days before we go to Japan.
Oh, good
so
luck.
I'm going to power through them. I'm going to have one day booked off where I power through those and just record it and then get it up while we're in Japan because I do not want to be spoiled, but I want to enjoy them.
Look forward to that then, everyone.
Yes, please do. Life is Strange. I love Life is Strange. The music's always incredible as well. Yeah, that'll be a demonetized.
That was my favorite thing.
There'll be a demonetized video on YouTube. I can guarantee that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is Life is Strange Double Exposure coming out later this year, and yeah, it's more like it is more Life is Strange. If you like Life is Strange, if you've never played one and you don't really care that I've spoiled nearly all of the plot points, go and play the original, and then go and play Before the Storm, because I mean I complain about it, but it's more story of and it's quite an interesting tale. So go and play Life is Strange 1, Before the Storm. 2 is all right. I didn't get into it that much. There's True Colors. There's Tell Me Why as well, which is another separate story.
Yep.
Very focused on like the trans on the trans twin, I believe.
Are they twins?
Yeah, I think it's called.
Yes, I think they are. You're right. It's been a while since I played that.
But that was
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that as well. Although again, I picked what people call the bad ending at the end.
I think
I
I
just-
might have done that as well.
I just like, you know, sometimes
you want to be selfish.
Yeah. or sometimes somebody annoys you and you're like, I don't care if they die.
Yeah. Because you can do that in a video game.
Exactly. Don't do it in real life.
No.
Yeah.
Don't be a prick in real life, but you can be a prick in Life is Strange.
Although sometimes you see something happening and you just stop. Like we were on the underground.
Oh, I've forgotten about this.
We were on the underground in Cologne at Gamescom, and
On the
yeah,
tram.
on the tram. Well, it was underground at the time.
True.
It's weird. It's like an underground tram. It confuses me.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, these two people just started fighting and beating the crap out of each other.
I think we're both just like sat on our phones, just scrolling, chilled, end of the day, and suddenly people were like running down the carriage. And my immediate thought was, is someone vomiting? In which case, I'm also running because I don't want to be near that. And then we noticed, no, there were two guys basically punching the shit out of each other, like throwing each other
Yeah.
over the chairs and against the walls and God knows what. And half the carriages are running back away from it.
Yeah.
The other half are running towards it to try and stop them. People are shouting at the driver. Luckily, we would stopped at a stop
Stage,
at this
yeah.
point. So we weren't moving. And people were trying to break them up. And there was a lot of shouting, obviously all in German. So I've got no idea what was being said, apart from probably stop being a twat.
Yeah, there
whatever that is in
I
German.
know, I didn't walk. I'm like, I'm not gonna like if they're genuinely like beating each other up, I'll let them do that. Like that's
Wow.
that's their own choice. They're beating each other up.
I mean,
They both were
true.
doing it.
It's more. I don't want to get hurt, but also I don't speak German, so I'm not going to get involved
No.
because I can't say anything at them.
Anyway, they got off.
Well,
and
they eventually broke up because like I saw there were a couple of women who had been sat near them who obviously don't want to get hit, and I mean, no one wants to get hit, but they were running away, and then one woman just came off from the platform, walked in, and just screamed at the
Yeah.
top of her lungs, and that is what made them stop, which I love.
Yeah.
I was like, "You are a
If you have
legend,
a really
whoever you are."
angry German lady screaming at you in German, you are, yeah, I mean, you just stop doing
Yeah,
what you're doing.
exactly. She was great. Thank you to her.
Anyway, that was Life is Strange. Double Exposure, out later this year, or out in October. And yeah, go and play some of the others if you like the sound of that, especially True Colors. That was great, which I
True Colours is the
presented
best.
an award to at the Gaming Awards.
Mind.